Hey, what is up guys, Good Given HD here, and welcome back to another CSGO gun sync. But this is not what you guys normally hear or see. Today I am not showing you one of my CSGO gun syncs that I've made. I am showing you how to make a CSGO gun sync, guys. Or a gun sync in general, really. This is just how you sync well to songs, and if you guys want to do this and post it to your YouTube channel, if you have one, definitely send me the links after you watch this video, because hopefully this will help you out a little bit. So we're going to jump into this straight away, guys, and I'm not just going to start making and you're going to be all confused and everything. So first of all, really what you want to do is you're going to want to get this, and this is the CSGO gun sync pack, which I will leave the link to in the description, guys. Which all you need to do is download it and extract it to your desktop, and then you will have this, and this is how you start to make these. So when you drag it into Sony Vegas, and you'll have this, and you'll just have a file, and you'll have that. So this is the first thing you want to get before making a CSGO gun sync or any gun sync of your choice. But if you do make a different gun sync, guys, and you do want different guns, then just look up how to get them and download them off of anywhere. So after you've done that, guys, and you are all cool with that, and your screen kind of looks like this, you can go up for the next step and find your music that you want to sync to. I have chose Fade because that was the first gun sync I ever did, and I thought it would be a pretty cool way to see the difference between how I started and how I am now. So I'm doing Fade, and I also have a background that I just downloaded for video purposes, guys. I recommend, if you are doing a CSGO one, then to go into CSGO and take a screenshot and then take it off of that, because that it gets you a lot better picture. But just for the video purposes, guys, I got a picture off the internet and I have put it into here. So that is really the second step. What you want to do is you want to find a background for your guns, basically. Alright, guys, obviously the third step, and realistically should have been the first step, is getting Sony Vegas. Now, if you don't have Sony Vegas, you're gonna have a very interestingly fun time trying to make these, guys. So really you have two options to get this. Either you can buy it for over £200, or you can just get it for free. They're simply the options you have, guys. And if you do want to just get it for free, then just look up tutorials on how to do it. I'm not gonna say anymore, but yeah, really, guys, that's how you do it. Okay, so once all of that is done, guys, you are ready to start your gun sync. So I'm gonna start off here by, I'm in Sony Vegas. I have my audio, I have my image. So it's what it looks like, guys. On the left side, you have an audio thing, you have a image, and you have another audio and another image for your guns. So I recommend firstly listening through it, and so what we're gonna do right now, guys, we're just gonna have a quick listen, and I'm not gonna talk, and we're gonna see, and you're just gonna listen really carefully to what you can hear, and then that'll make it a lot easier to start. So here you go, guys. Alright, guys, so that was the whole song we were going to be syncing today, and by the way, this thing at the end that you see here, this is a fade in, a fade out marker. Now, if you do want this, guys, to obviously fade out your songs, you're going to want to come up to the top right corner here and pull out, and I have it set to 10 seconds there, and same here, but instead I've got 5. And I also have it at the start, but that's set to 3 seconds. So it just does that, and it kind of fades in really nicely, and I like that. So yeah, guys. Alright, now you've listened to it and everything like that, you're ready to start. So this is kind of gonna be repetitive, but you're just gonna listen to the first 2 or 3 notes. Now, if you hear that, that's quite a high note right here, and then quite a low-ish down note to here. So we're gonna open our packet here, guys, and we're gonna look through. Now, I'm thinking I'm gonna use a USP silenced for one clip, and I'm gonna drag that into Sony Vegas right there. And I'm also going to use a M4 silenced too, guys. Alright, so now I have both of them dragged into Sony Vegas. We can see what we have here. Okay, so this first one, if you have the same pack as me, guys, and you download it from the description, will be this. Now you're gonna wanna get the audio here. So we'll move this for now, and we'll get the audio of this. Okay, guys, so that's the audio. And as you can see, you can't see you can't see your background. So all you have to do, guys, is come over to this left side right here, top left, and you'll see Project Media Export, Transitions, Video FX, and Media Generators. You're gonna want to go click on Video FX, and you're gonna want to come down to something that says Chroma Key. It's right here. And you're going to want to drag this chroma key on top of this layer, and you have to drag it over here to this. And then you can let go, and you'll have this thing pop up. Now, next thing you do is you click on this, and you click this button right here, and you drag it over to this part, and you click. And then you'll be able to see the image. But you can see it's a bit dark. So what I like to do is you can tweak this however you like, but I like to put it as 0.3, and that gives it quite a nice. Makes this better, and I like it like that. So then you can just click off that, guys, and you'll have now your image that you can see with the audio. Okay, see? Okay, so yeah, something like that. Also, something I didn't say, guys, is you're gonna want to lower the volume on your clip. Now I'm gonna see different times, so that sounds quite nice. I'm just gonna go maybe to 12.5 and listen again. And now that's too low, so I'm gonna keep it at 10. And it just makes it so you can hear this much better, guys, basically. Okay, now you're gonna want to zoom in quite a lot, and you're gonna want to. It doesn't matter if it's not precisely exactly where it is, because it sounds pretty similar, guys. But you have this really, and then as you can see, it's kind of synced, and I'm going to move it up to here, this line, and because we have this, and then we hear the gun sound here, and we also hear a drop here. Then it comes over, we extend the clip over to where the next drop is, and then we'll have a next drop coming across that, guys. So then we'll have something that sounds like, it's not going to sound like much, but this. So basically it's just synced to that. And it kind of repeats itself, guys. So I'm going to do a few more for you guys. So now, the reason I got the M4 is because I'm going to use that after the USP. So I'm going to do the same thing again. Drag the chroma key over to this. Click this. Click this. Click on the screen. Click off. And then 0.3. That's how I like it. And then we're going to click off that. And then once again, we're going to get the audio from there. And we're going to go to there, guys. And then we're going to drag this all the way back, and we have the audio clip now. So here is the audio. And we're gonna go over to this line, and because that isn't synced up and that won't sync up properly, we're gonna actually move it across to where it's already started. So there we have this, and then we can drag again this over, sorry about that, so over to this line where it will start again. And then instead of having to drag it in every time, guys, you can just click the clip and click Ctrl-C, and then click over here and click Ctrl-V, and then you'll have a clip, and you'll have a copy of it. And then I'm going to drag it back, guys, see where it starts, and then I'm going to move it across, and we'll have another clip right there. So I'll do a few more for you guys so you can just see, and as you see, that's synced right there, and then that is synced pretty much perfectly right there, and then we have something that sounds like this. Now, obviously, it isn't obviously a perfect representation of the music, guys, because we can't, in CSGO, you don't have perfect representations, but you have very close representations, guys. So I'm gonna do up to this line right here, and then I'll come back with you guys once we have up to there, so you guys can see what it sounds like. Also, one thing, if you hear a change in music, like say, let's find a change in music. Maybe is it here? No, I'm thinking here. yeah, so here guys is a change of music. So if you click M, you can marker where the change in music is. And I really like to do that. So again, we'll come over to here. We'll click M and we'll marker where I'm going to go up to, guys. And then I'll be straight back with you once we have that filled up. Alright guys, so I've gone through and taken the time to get up to this point right here, and like I said, and now we're gonna have another listen to see what it sounds like so far and how I've got up to. And also I'm just gonna make a little sync into 5 seconds just so it gives it a little bit nicer of an edge. And again, how you do that is you just come up to the top left corner and you see this little marker here, it said fade in offset, and you drag to what point you want it in. So we're gonna listen and see what it sounds like. So you guys, that's what it sounds like so far. Now obviously, I am trying to make a video here too, so I'm not rushing it guys, but I am going a bit quicker. And if I had the time right here guys, I would have definitely looked through, and maybe I would have tried to maybe tweak sounds and stuff like that, but obviously I'm not going to go into that now. But anyway guys, I think that sounds really nice to what we have up to so far. And now hopefully you guys, maybe if you want to copy what I'm doing, and then obviously you can start off, because it is a really good idea to start off with quite a simple song. If this say is your first gun sync, and Csgo Fade, Fade, the song is a really hard song to start off with. Well, it isn't a really hard song, but it is quite difficult. Say, if I drag this out here, guys, when you get up to this point right here, and yeah, it just is not that easy. So, I have this much so far, and I think that sounds quite nice, and we're just going to continue on, and we're going to delete this marker right here. If you just right click and click delete, we have that. Now, so really the steps we've gone through so far, guys, is downloading the Csgo pack, getting Sony Vegas, making sure you have the music and the background to go with it, and putting the guns into this music and syncing. Now, if you guys have followed that so far, that would be freaking awesome. And if you do have any questions about anything, guys, I'll make sure to reply to them, because I do know quite a bit about Sony Vegas, and I can use it very well. So guys, if you have any questions of what to do or anything like that, definitely comment that down below and I will make sure to reply. So we're going to continue on right here. We're going to listen one more time, and then I'll say. No, that is what we have so far, and I think that sounds really nice. So, alright, that's pretty cool, and we're going to now sync up to here. Now, I'm just going to take you guys through the steps again. So we're going to listen up to, say, this point, and we're going to see if it sounds the same. As you can see, guys, it does sound very similar as we have been using in the past time. So again, we can just make sure and go through and check that every single one of these songs is synced, because yeah, right there, and that's perfectly synced, as you can see. And we're just gonna go through and we're gonna make sure that every single one is very close to this sound right here. This marker's because that's a new beat, and that makes just this sound. So yeah, it's always good to make sure that every single one is perfectly synced, instead of just going like this, and say you didn't want to take the time in to do this, and you just did something like this, and you did that, and then you did that. It's not, maybe it isn't synced, maybe some of the guns aren't mixed up, so always make sure you don't do this, and you go through and you take the time to go through each one and make sure they're pretty much exactly on the dot, or as close as you can possibly get them without, you know, not having that issue. And also, guys, say if you do make any mistakes, like say you're trying to select this and you accidentally do something like this. I remember I did this once on my video, not on my video, but on the gun sync, and I had to sync like this, and I was so confused why it was happening. So if you just double click on that, it'll go away, or something like that happens. And say this thing right here, say if your video's done, and you're trying to select the gun sync, or you've rendered the gun sync and it did it in a second, definitely go back and check that this thing is all the way at the start, otherwise it won't sync properly. So I'm going to sync up to the point where the sound changes, guys, and I'll be back with you. Alright, once again, guys, I have taken the time and gone through, and now we've synced all the way up to where the beat now drops. And I'm just going to set a marker there just so I know for when we continue on doing the song that I know that this is the first part and it's very similar to each other. So obviously now I have this part to sync, guys, and we're going to listen to this just to make sure it sounds right. So I think that sounds pretty good to me, guys. It is very repetitive, but the thing is, that is all about what this is, guys. So, sometimes I spend 6-7 hours making these, and the repetition is really annoying. The fact that you have to keep, like, sometimes when you do certain songs that I've been doing, you have to like do this and do this and do this and do this and pause and stop and everything, guys, and it is really annoying. But if I tell you guys something, the first time I started out doing these, I gave up in 5 minutes. The first time I ever did it. 5 minutes later on into the video, or into this gun sync, I stopped, and I didn't want to do it. It was the fade as well, and I just said, no, I can't do it, it's too hard. And then I looked again, and I was like, okay, if I take the time, and I spend a lot of time looking at this, I can definitely do this. So that's what I did, and then I ended up with that fade, and I think that sounds really nice, guys. So as long as you take the time with these and you don't rush them, they will sound really nice. Or as nice as you can possibly get it, guys. So now we're going to listen up to this point, because I can see the beat drops right there. We're going to set another marker. We're going to listen up to this, and we're just going to see what differences there are. So guys, there you go, there is the thing. I'm going to move this marker because that is in the wrong place. That is the whole thing up to where the beat drops over right here. So now we're going to have to sync, and it does sound similar, but it doesn't sound the same, because as you can see right here, this part, there's a lot more beats, and it also is quite louder. If we listen to this part and then this part, you can see a difference. So this part, right, the second beat, listen, is a little bit higher, guys. So we can probably keep something like an M4 silenced in here. So we keep kind of something similar, but then we're going to have some new sounds right here and here. So if we listen once more, so we can just get a reference to the sound. Alright guys, so that is quite a loud oh god. Sorry about that. That was quite a loud voice, so we're gonna copy it. We're just gonna make sure that is there. That's not synced or in the right place. I'm just making sure that I have another one extra. So we're gonna take a look here, and we're gonna see which one fits really. Now don't guys, don't just take one and say, oh, that sounds alright. That sounds decent. That sounds alright. Because even though it syncs, it won't sound that good. Because, like, say if I got, let's just take a random gun, for instance, take an AK, and you listen to this, that doesn't sound that similar. Now, what about if you decided, I want an AK there, but I don't care because it might not sound that good, and oh well, who cares? Listen to what it sounds like. Now, see, it doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound similar to the sound at all. So make sure you at least get something that's slightly similar to, say, that sound. So I have an M4 there, and I'm gonna probably go for maybe a gun reloading or something like that, guys. Alright guys, I am back and I have 3 guns right here that I do want to test out to see if this sounds quite good. We have a UMP, we have a 5.7 and we have a Glock. Now I'm going to take you through one of these. If you don't remember, chroma key, dragged onto there, you click this button, you move it over to this and click. Then you can change this to 0.3, that's what I like it at, and you're done, and then you have a nice one. So it's not green. Alright guys, they are all done. And just one thing, this may not be the best commentary or the best tutorial video out there that you can find, but it definitely goes into detail on what you can do. And guys, I've never made a tutorial before, so I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it that well, so I'm just trying stuff out. So guys, this is a lot about trial and error, okay? So if we move this in right here and we just check that is pretty much perfect, that is perfect. Okay, now something you want to do is you can't just get a reference off this. Now that doesn't sound that good, but just in case, what you want to do is you want to make a really quick rough plan, like say that, and listen. Now I don't think that sounds quite that good, but we'll listen again. That actually sounds quite nice, but I'm not that sure on it. So we're going to move it out to the side and we're going to test another gun. Say here we test this. Now again, you want to just get a really quick plan right here. And the reason you haven't got to take time on this is because you might not even be using the gun. So yeah, let's just find out. That also sounds really nice, guys. And we listen one more time. And if this sounds good, we may be able to use both. I actually do like that quite a bit. So now if we go control, by the way, I'm undoing this by clicking Control Z. So we have 2 options, guys, and we could end up using both of them. So we have a mix of weapons, so it isn't just 2 weapons. We'll listen to this after we get the 5 plan layout, so we can just see. Now I like all of them, and surprisingly enough, I didn't think I would. So we're going to want to start off with something, maybe let's listen. So we're going to maybe want to start off with a clappy kind of gun, and that's going to be the Glock. The Glock is very clappy, and it sounds something like that. So we're gonna start out making sure that's synced. Start out like this, and then we come up to this part. Now we're gonna get this one more here, and just making sure that's perfectly synced. Okay, good. Now we have this part, which is different. So let's listen. Alright guys, so as you hear right there, I repeated it a few times just so I can get a reference, and I think I'm going to go for a 5.7 Glock mix here, and we're going to just listen one more time so I can hear where the high and low bits are. Okay, so I need to listen quite a few times. Alright guys, so that sounds like high and then low and low, and by the way, what I mean by that is M4, and we're going to need to sync this up again. Alright, that's as close as I'm going to get. I mean by that is M4, again, Glock, as in it's quite a low-ish voice, kind of thing. Then we have the 5.7, is that as close as we can get to perfect? Yep. And then over here, what do we have? So we have another clappy kind of sound, and then we have, just making sure that's perfectly lined up as far as we can get it. That's perfect, okay. And then we have another M4 because it goes quite high. And then this is a longed out kind of M4. Okay. So this is what we have so far from the start, and we're going to listen, guys. And that was kind of the process of how you kind of start up and you go on to new verses. But once you've got a few lines set up, and it kind of does repeat sometimes, it'll definitely make it a lot easier. So let's listen to how this sounds. Now I don't actually like that. I thought I would, but I don't. Now if you just listen, guys, I don't like the 5.7 in there whatsoever, and I actually don't like the sound that much, so we're going to actually try and swap it out for a Glock and see how that sounds. We're going to listen one more time. Now, I don't know if I like that either, guys, so I'll be back with you guys when I find something I like. Alright guys, I think I found something that I like. I'm gonna listen to from over here just so you can get a reference. Now guys, I think I quite like that quite a bit. And because it's quite a clappy-ish sound over here, and then we have a nice M4 to like clear it out, and I really like that sound. And by the way guys, if you're having like trouble, say the sound's too low or something, or you have say a USP like over here, but you can't hear it over the gunshots or something like that, then what you're going to want to do is you want to right click down here on an empty space, and you're going to want to click open track, and you're going to want to drag this to the top to make your life easier, and then you can click and move the audio up here, and then you can change the volume, say to 12, and then that'll make that really loud. Listen. So as you see right there, that is really loud, and it helps if you're doing like certain things. Say if you have two things running at once, or by the way guys, I did that by clicking this button right here. Say if you zoom out and you have something like this going, and you also have this going. I don't know if that'll work or not. But yeah, you have something like that, guys. That's pretty much what you can do. And then it'll be louder on one side and it won't be louder on the other side, guys. So that's why I like to use that. Alright, now back to this, guys. We're going to listen again, and we're going to make sure that it sounds perfect to our standards. That definitely does sound perfect to my standards, and I think I'm going to keep this for now, but I don't know if I'm actually going to use it. So I'm now going to do, I think, maybe up to here or here, guys, and it's going to see how it sounds. Alright guys, so I've gone back and I've listened to the whole thing, and it sounds really nice, guys. So we're going to listen from here, and then we're going to listen to the whole track and see if you like it from there. Actually, no, I've decided we're not going to listen to this. We're just going to listen to the whole thing, guys, since we've gone up to this part right here, and see if you like it. So guys, that's where we're up to so far, and I think that sounds really nice. And we have now this part, and then the hardest part really comes to when the beat drops heavily, and you have something that looks like this. But if you pay really close attention and you have a good eye, guys, you see parts where right there, where there's a little beat that goes down and then it comes up, and that's a bass, guys. That's where it goes down, it comes up, and that's a new beat. So we're gonna do something that I imagine is quite loud. So if we sync the rest of this up to the point, we're gonna listen, guys. So we can really probably use the same stuff up to here. So up to right there, guys. We can use the same stuff, and hopefully that should sound quite nice. Alright guys, I have it synced up, and as you can see, I did actually add a new audio track right here because it was getting too loud for the Emperor A1Ss with the music, and you couldn't start to hear them. So if I move this down to here, listen to here, guys. I couldn't really hear that, so I decided to move them up to here, and now this is what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like, guys, and as you can see, it's a lot louder up here because I've changed the volume, and now we have the big bass drop part, guys. And like, well, I don't think I did say this, but Fade is it gets an easier song as you go on. and as you start really. So it definitely, if you're a beginner, choose this song to start with, or if you do other music or other songs or other games, then choose a song that is quite simple and you can see the bases. Like a lot of songs that I've done, guys, which was really stupid ideas, is where there is just nothing. There is just little blips that come down, and you have to have such a good eye to do it, guys. And they're the ones that take me like 9-10 hours to do, because you have something like this, but instead of being able to actually see the blips, you just have that the whole way through, and it is really hard to do, guys. So make sure when you're a beginner you start out with quite an easy song like Fade, and you'll probably be having quite a nice time doing it. And so far I haven't spent too much time on this, guys, but I am definitely spending enough time so it sounds good, and we're going to listen to this one more time to make sure it sounds good. Alright guys, so that definitely sounds quite nice. Now I'm gonna actually copy, I'm gonna copy the thing I did last time, but last time I didn't do it that well, but I did do it okay. Now what I did is I used AWPs and auto snipers over here. Now I actually need to get rid of this for now so I can see the whole track up to some point where I'll stop playing music and then it will just fade out completely. So again, we're going to open up our folder where we have all the gun syncs saved, and like I said, I'm going to use the auto sniper. I'm guessing I'm going to use. Let's think of which one we're going to use, guys. Now I need the AWP. Definitely need the AWP. The AWP is right here. We're going to go for a terrorist AWP, and we're going to use an auto sniper if I can find it. There it is, right there. Okay, and for one more time, guys, chroma key to there. Click this, click that, click the screen, and then change that to 0.3. It makes it much easier to do. And we'll do it with the other one real quick, guys. But the reason I'm using auto snipers and AWPs is because if you didn't watch the first one I ever did, guys, that's how I did it, and it sounded really nice. But when it was actually posted onto my channel, I realized that I made a mini mistake, which no one really saw, which really surprised me, but I did, and it really annoyed me. And it was where, if you haven't seen it now, guys, then you'll definitely see it now. It was where I doubled the AWPs up, and you saw two AWPs underneath this AWP, this scar. So I kept the AWPs over until there's another drop. So I'll show you what I mean right now. Okay, so we're going to listen for two drops, and I'll tell you when they are. So one is right at the start, right here. And another one was right there, guys. And we're only going to have two drops in this anyway. But I'm guessing I'm going to stop here. I'm going to stop around there, and then I'll fade out. So we have the AWP on a completely different layer to itself. So we have that on itself, and we'll keep that there actually. So now, as you can see, we have this here, and we're gonna sorry, someone came online with my Steam. We're gonna actually flip this. Now, if you don't know how to do that, guys, you click this pan crop button right here. You right click and you click flip horizontal, and it flips to the other side. And then you can see you have something on that side. And also, if you drag this over here, you have another thing on this side. But it won't be like that, guys. It will be like this. So you have two. And then make sure you move these onto a separate audio layer. And that will be, if we can get another audio track right here, and move this to the top so we can see it. And there we'll actually move it there. Okay, now we have another audio track for the autos alone. And we're going to want to start where the autos, so if we take a look, we can see that it starts there, and then it ends there, yeah. And then the auto is really repetitive, guys. So you shouldn't have a tough problem if you are doing fade, doing this, because the auto is incredibly repetitive, so you could probably just copy and paste, but always making sure that they're always perfectly in line. And as you can see, we have two drops right there, so I need to see what that is, but it kind of will sound like this, guys. So yeah, that's what it sounds like. I think that actually sounds really good. And I don't know if we should have one at the start. Let's listen again. No, we shouldn't. So we actually do have the do, you know, over here from this, like this. But we have it on the autos. So now I'll sync one while we're here, guys, and then I'll finish off the song, and I'll show you the whole song once we're done. So here we go, guys. We have that right there, and then we also have another one there, as you can see, and we have again one there and one there. Now we'll listen to see if that sounds alright. That sounds perfect, guys, and then we'll go back to making sure that each one is perfectly synced in line, and then we'll listen to it one more time, and then I'll finish off the song. So there you go, guys. We're going to finish the song off right here, and I'm going to play you the whole thing through, and it only took us this much time. Alright, guys, I have finished off the song right here, and I added a few markers and everything like that. And this definitely sounds quite nice, and I've just added a few, and we faded that out. So if you listen... Now, we have two options. We can either keep them in or delete them, and we'll see what they sound like when they're deleted. That actually sounds quite nice when they're gone. So we'll keep them gone, and we'll fade both of them out so it just doesn't just go completely. And we have that. That will be the end to our song, guys. I'm going to delete all these markers. I'm going to be quiet. And this is the song we've made in, I have no idea about how much time. Alright, guys, so that was the entire song played through, and within 50 minutes, guys, it was an incredibly long video. And obviously we did have to make this, but 50 minutes of work, guys. I think that is incredible gun sync made right there, and I hope you did enjoy this tutorial. It may not have been the best tutorial, guys, but I really did try. And if you do want me to like help you guys out with anything else, or you have any questions, or you have anything to ask about Sony Vegas, just drop it in the comments, guys, and I'll make sure to respond and tell you how to do it. If you did enjoy this very long tutorial video on how to make a CSGO gun sync or any gun sync in general, then don't forget to drop that down below and give it a comment and a rating and subscribe while you're down there, guys. And I'll see you in the next video of a CSGO gun sync tutorial video or whatever I post. Peace.